So yeah, this other news we got is pretty sad, man. We lost the director David Lynch, man. He finally passed away at the age of 78. And he died on January 15th. And the interesting thing about this, I remember seeing a few months ago, he kind of, gave us warning. I mean, I think what it was smoking related, man. So it might have been advanced like emphysema. And he basically said he didn't have much time left. And he kind of said, he doesn't regret smoking. He found a lot of joy in it, but also he didn't recommend it. It's bad for your health. And this is a prime example. And it's crazy because he had was working with Netflix on something. He had a project that was about to come out. I think it was going to be a limited series that he never got to do, because he passed away. But what's crazy about it, man, this guy is a really interesting figure in Hollywood, man. He's one of these directors that's hard to pin down. A lot of people, you either love him or you hate him. Yeah. But at the same time, he has influenced, your favorite filmmaker, man. He's just one of those guys. And he left a big body of films, man. Wild at Heart, Mulholland Drive, Lost Highway, Blue Velvet, things of that nature.
Elephant Man,
yeah. Elephant Man might be one of his most accessible, like straightforward, films. And it's just crazy, man. This guy was a guy also that kind of bucked at the system a lot, man. Like I think this guy probably would have made more films if he just got the chance, but because Hollywood is so profit driven and motivated, it kind of leaves guys like this in the margins, Well,
he had an obscure outlook. I mean, like a lot of his films were like classified as like weird or just kind of real like unique. I mean, when you take it away from like Elephant Man, like you said, that was revolving around like a real live deformity and stuff like that. So it had a serious undertone. Dune. It's like that's kind of like Star Wars. But then when you look at like Eraserhead or even Blue Velvet, you know what I'm saying? It's just like they kind of have a different flow chart that they follow. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of acquired taste. Like what was interesting to me about his career though is that he had something that was wildly successful, like the Twin Peaks series, and that was being shown on mainstream television. And it had captured the nation's interest and imagination. It's really wild. So much so that they actually brought it back. They revisited that series. A few years ago, they did a continuation series, man. So it's wild. So it shows me that he was capable of doing the more stuff, even though I don't think Twin Peaks could be classified as mainstream. Maybe it was just a time where all the quirky people just saw themselves and saw something that they could be interested in being presented. Because it's also a time where we didn't have that many channels to mess around with. So,
that's true.
It's not
And I mean, not for nothing, Twin Peaks jumped from ABC, then HBO, then Showtime. So I mean, even though it got a very lengthy run, it wasn't like it didn't just stay on one platform. You know what I mean? But I've never seen it.
I've seen bits and pieces as a kid. But like, I think at the time as a kid, I was too young to understand, what was going on. Not that it was overly complicated, but just it was more adult subject matters. I think it mostly involved, someone that got killed, and it was like, who killed Laura Palmer? I remember Laura Palmer, the name, and that was like the big mystery. But also, you had all this quirkiness going on, in this town. And I think that was one of his powers as a director, was he was good at like, just kind of showing the world's quirks, and it's not like he was inventing stuff. He was shining a light on things that we hadn't normally seen. I remember trying to watch Lost Highway. I didn't finish it, but now I think I'm gonna get this guy shot on all this stuff just because, man. But there was a moment in there, and I'm like, and it was just a really weird moment. It was like a meeting with these Hollywood executives, and this guy was just like choking, you know what I'm saying? Almost choking on his coffee. Took a sip of this drink and that shit almost killed him. And I'm like, yo, why is this old man even in here? And it's like, and in my mind, I'm like, what does this got to do with the movie? But it's like, I don't know, but this is so Lynchian, just to show this crazy moment and really not give you any context, but just leave it up to your mind to make up what you thought about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you 100%. It's definitely, his movies I don't feel like they're geared towards a younger crowd. Like when I was younger, I definitely, the couple Lynch experiences that I did have, mainly like Dune, outside of that, I mean, I couldn't grasp the meaning within the meaning, you know what I'm saying? But just, due to his passing, I was like, you know what? I wanted to test drive Eraserhead. So I did that.
I hear good things about that, but I don't know. I don't know what it is about it though that draws people to it. I got to do some reading on it. But
for me personally, like I like seeing where directors get their start when they actually where they earn their chops, so to speak. And with him going from short film before this and this being his first feature length film. It was wild because, it's black and white, so it has that kind of like that older feel. But what really stood out to me is these elongated shots. I mean, you're getting this music, and then these scenes. I mean, they're so stretched out. It's like he's almost like he's a rubber band in each scene, and it's like you just sit there, and all he's making you do is just think about what you're seeing, and what you're seeing is like, am I really seeing this shit? I mean, this movie defined weird for me. Okay, and I've seen some stuff in my day. We all have. But when I'm watching this, it's like I was like, man, this is so odd and strange, and the expressions, and there's not a lot of dialogue, and you're just watching this guy navigate through this situation. Pretty much, it kind of started to feel like a Scared Straight video of early unexpected or young pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude, he didn't know how to handle it. And it's so at the, as you're watching him try to navigate through fatherhood and just, all this crazy stuff that's going on around him. And then the end result, this ultimate relief, this sense of relief that he feels by ultimately just killing this little alien baby that was his own. It's like, dude, what? It definitely was a head scratcher. But I mean, I'm glad I saw it just to say that I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's I mean, there is one film that I really love though from him, and I definitely saw this at an inappropriate age, and that's going to be Wild at Heart. And I think that story just was real accessible to me. I mean, it's kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde setup in a way. You got this girl. If I'm remembering correctly, I could be wrong. I haven't seen it really honestly since I was a kid, and it's I think there was this woman, and her parents didn't approve of her, dating this dude played by Nicolas Cage, and they actually sent a dude to jack Nicolas Cage up.
You serious?
And Cage kind of kicks this guy's basically kills him. You know what I'm saying? In the process, and they go on a run, and then it's just them kind of stay a step ahead of these of their parents and the people they sent at them, and then it's just wild, man. It's just I don't remember a whole lot of it, but I do remember it having this kind of dreamlike state, this floaty kind of thing. I think Laura Dern was the woman in this, which is interesting because they will work again later on in another film that's kind of big in his filmography. But the craziest part is I loved it, dude. I got to rewatch that joint. But it's also, I'm also 11 years old watching Wild at Heart. Watching Wild at Heart. So there's some TNA, some sex scenes and stuff. But it's also got that quirkiness. Nicolas Cage is just a nut in it as well, which is kind of I was used to seeing him. I think I watched Raising Arizona a lot around this age too. Okay. So I like this guy from that movie. So now he's in this and he's playing a totally different character. Not? But I definitely do remember that. I gotta rewatch it, sometime just to kind of get a sense of, I think you gave me a copy of the Blue Velvet. I still ain't watched that yet, but people highly recommend that. What I'm saying?
I'm glad you brought that up because I did double back after Eraserhead. I was like, well, since I'm lynching out, I'm gonna go ahead and Blue Velvet it. And I can't say that I understand what all the hype is. I mean, I know it's widely renowned and everyone loves it. But I mean, I was just watching and I was just like, man, it's good for what it is. But
is it tough subject matter?
No, it's not tough subject matter. It's just it's almost it's kind of it seems unnecessary. It's a murder mystery, but the reasoning behind it, this kid comes home from college, finds an ear in a field, and just makes it his personal mission to figure out who the ear belongs to. And on his quest, he just starts. He has an interaction with this lady, and she's like a singer in a club or something, and then he just sees some like he's hiding in her closet trying to like, you know, get to know more about her. And he sees some old crazy shit. This is what's his name? Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Very strange man in this movie. like very, very strange man.
I've heard. And sometimes violent.
Yeah, sometimes, man, this dude was super violent and super strange. Mm-hmm. And I'm just watching it like, and that kind of like, it just kind of took me back a little bit. I was just like, I don't know about this. But then as you see, it progressed. It was just like, you know, it felt unclimactic to me. You know,
anticlimactic.
I was just like, you know, I would like to sit down and have a conversation with somebody who actually really holds it in high regards and let them bend my ear a little bit, because maybe I missed something. Maybe I was looking for something that wasn't there. But when I saw, like, I remember I saw it when I was younger, and like you said, the one thing I remembered was the TNA. I was like, oh, okay, this is one of my earlier experiences with films that provided me with that. But outside of that,
Blockbuster, Bob was out here looking at. Shout out to John, man. I see you just mentioned us in the chat, man. Thanks for coming to hang out. See what he was doing while you was at work.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, man. Because like I said, man, even if you don't like the work, I think what's dope about some guys like this is they, you know, their work does influence a lot of the people's work that we do like, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, I'm going to take some time and check out his filmography, give it a rewatch. But, man.
One thing I will say about him, he definitely has he had a knack for setting like atmospheric tone. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He definitely he could set a setting out and lay it down and really kind of submerge you in that. In that element, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he will be missed in the film industry.
Yeah, rest in peace, David Lynch.